So, Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty Season 3 Episode 10, the Rick Morty date, has come out and, well, I don't know how to feel about it. I wanted something more, not wanted, but I expected more something along the lines of Evil Morty or Phoenix Person and Tammy to come in this episode because almost all the promos for season 3 were misleading. They weren't showing what was actually going to happen in the episode. But this one was, well, basically basically what this episode did is it returned the status quo from season 1, where in season 3 in episode 1 we got a big shift with Beth and Jerry divorcing. Here we have them back together, and Rick is now the butt of the joke in the family. I really don't know what to talk about this episode. This episode had a lot of references to South Park, Minecraft, even politics. I'm sure you recognize that old hideous guy that was on left of the president. Shout out to all of the Americans who actually did recognize that. Now, this episode starts off rather interesting. The president calling them because there was an incident, Rick and Morty blowing him off. He was pissed, and well, what was interesting about this is that Rick and Morty basically are almost for almost the entirety of the episode are on the same page. Like, they can't deal with the president anymore. They have been dealing with him for probably who knows how long. They mentioned that it was a couple of times, and they just play Minecraft because why not? Now, there are a lot of questions. I'm not going to review the episode because nothing really happens except for the shift in the status quo, the fight between Rick and the president, and that's it. But important questions came out of this episode. Like, for example, how did America, basically the US, manage to create portal technology? I mean, not even intergalactic species could do that, yet somehow the United States could. Like, not even the galactic government could copy Rick's portal technology, and yet the United States could, even though it is a little bit clunky, it requires too many things, and it's not, like a portal gun, but still. How did they do that? Also, if you remember in episode 1, when we saw the memory from Rick, where he was experimenting, where he was trying to develop portal technology, we actually got to see that a blue portal basically fries everything. So, was that true? Was it false? Does do blue portals now work? Because, well, the galactic government did have blue portals, but they were probably from point A to point B on one planet, not interdimensional portals. Maybe it has to do something with the color, but then it doesn't explain the memory, so there's that. Also, how did the president actually manage to get such advanced technology? Because he was capable of fighting on par with Rick Sanchez. I mean, Rick definitely had almost the entirety of the fight. Was leading almost the entirety of the fight, but the president also got a few blows. Yep, the president punched Rick, a guy who could destroy universes, who could fuck up Earths if he wanted to. But yeah, this one isn't much to discuss. Oh, and we still didn't get a clarification on whether Beth was a clone or not. I know that many people say that she was a clone due to the clocks. Some people say that no, she isn't because of the clocks, because it takes 3 hours. The scene at the end was daylight, so there wasn't even time. MatPat even made a video saying that the time doesn't add up. I really don't know if she is a clone or not. And I think that Rick really meant when he said that she wasn't. So I'm just gonna assume that she wasn't a clone, and there's that. Maybe in a future episode we're gonna get, Beth, the real Beth, possibly returning back to see her kids after her journey. Maybe she's gonna be as smart as Rick, maybe not. And plot twist, maybe like that, but other than that, nothing much. So, something else that is really interesting is Season 4. Season 4 is... it depends when writing is gonna finish. If writing finishes at the end of this year, it takes 6 months to animate an episode. So, we could get Season 4 next summer. Best case scenario. And I really hope that it's next summer, because I can't wait a year and a half. I can't. I just can't. I mean, it happened twice. The last time nearly broke me with the cliffhanger. This time we didn't get a cliffhanger, but we did get some little bit tidbits of, what's gonna happen. Still, there are a lot of plot threads that are loose, that are untied, like Evil Morty, Tammy and Phoenix Person, the Vindicators, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, the best moments of this episode definitely were the fight between Rick and the President. It was an amazing fight. And we also got to see some of Rick's arsenal, basically what he can do. Like, he has a force field, he can instantly kill a person if that person touches him. He can clone himself, possibly holographic clones, but nevertheless, and so much more. The second moment was when Rick and Morty went to Iran or Iraq or Pakistan. I don't really know where he went, but yeah, where they basically finished the war just by smoking pot. Rick way of ending a war, just smoke pot from an alien, from something alien, and yeah, everything solved, every conflict resolved, no need. And the third moment was when we finally got to see Rick's fear. Because Rick, up to this point, has never really shown fear. Like, even when he's near death, he's not that afraid. The only time that we have actually seen him was when he and Morty nearly died trying to get a crystal from the princess from episode 6 of season 3. That was the only time we actually saw him afraid. But this time we actually saw his irrational fear, how he thought of everything. Basically, we saw that he's afraid of pirates. And the whole scene was actually really interesting, where Rick is like, don't read anything you read on the internet, after he broke cuffs from Sanchasium, because the government is so stupid that they believed that actually exists. And then the pirates come out, and yeah, he just leaves, like straight up leaves. Also, the final line, not the final line, but the line that really stuck with me was with the South Park reference, where Morty's like, why can't we just play Minecraft, with VR headsets? And he's like, South Park did it 4 years ago. Oh yeah, they did. And Rick says, either they're fast or we're slow. Basically, it's both, because South Park makes an episode every 6 days, and Rick and Morty make an episode start the season in 1.5 years, so you do the math. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Nothing really happened this episode. I would give it a solid B. It had great scenes, but that was pretty much it. It wasn't the best episode of the season, but it wasn't the worst. So this is the Pop Culture Observer, and I'm out.